Hey everyone, I'm Erin, and welcome to this month's edition of the Dollar Club, where we see how everyone contributing just $1 a month can bless the community and share the love of Christ to those around us. Today we're going to be meeting with Greg Wagner, who's a local pastor at Fellowship Baptist Church in Barboursville. In the past month, Pastor Greg has been leading their church through the devastating aftermath after their entire church has been flooded with 28 inches of water. So let's talk to him and get some more information and see if there's any way the Dollar Club can help. Well, Greg, thanks for coming and talking to me. I understand that your hometown is Barboursville, but you didn't always live here. You were a missionary in Tanzania.
Right. Yeah, I grew up in Barboursville, came to know the Lord after I graduated high school, transplanted out of Barboursville over into Ohio for a period of time, and from the church there, they sent my wife and I, Paige, to Tanzania, East Africa, where we served for 20 years as missionaries there. So I'm officially a Swahili. So, yeah.
And what was the type of work that you did over there?
We did church planting, went into western Tanzania, northwest near Lake Victoria. A lot of our students would go out into different communities and villages and areas and start churches. And over our 20 years there, about 35 churches were started during our time there, and they continue to do well under national leadership. So.
And what's some stuff that you love about Fellowship Baptist?
Well, the thing I love about ministry, be it Tanzania, be it Fellowship Baptist, and certainly Fellowship, it's the people. And, the people at Fellowship Baptist Church are some of the most generous and hardworking and dedicated people. This church has been in existence for 49 years, Aaron, and there have been 3 pastors. I'm the 3rd pastor. And I think that just speaks so well of the unity and support that the church body gives to the church leadership and vice versa.
Awesome. Now I understand that you guys were hit pretty hard with the flooding. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, we're in a 100-year floodplain here at Barboursville off the Mud River and Cyrus Creek backing up, and it's supposed to flood once every 100 years, and this is now the 3rd time in 49 years of the church. Each pastor had their flood. So it got up a pretty substantial amount here in our worship center, our children's wing, and there's not a piece of this building that was not affected with the flood waters. And I said, if we were in Colorado Springs, Colorado, you get flood water there and it's crystal clear and all that. This has mud and silt and just a lot of dirty stuff in it. So we've had to work at getting the muck and the mire out of here. We've had to cut our walls 4 feet down. And so the damage is pretty extensive. Thankfully, we do have flood insurance. I know some who've been flooded in the past don't have insurance. So that's going to cover us to some degree, but probably not get us where we need to be. So.
And what's something that you maybe have learned about yourself or the congregation or just people around you while leading them through this disaster?
Well, it's something that we keep relearning, right? It's that adversity and challenges really strengthen the resolve of God's people. It's been said the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. I mean, I'm not saying we're martyrs, but, going through difficult times binds us together. I think there's been a great spirit of love, unity, and commitment of the church that previously, I've been here now 3 years. I mean, I wouldn't say it was absent, but it's certainly more and stronger and vibrant. Right now, I think morale was boosted in that Wednesday, the water subsided and we started working in here, and we had church the very first Sunday, March the 7th.
So what are some of the current situations that's going on with all the efforts and what's next for Fellowship Baptist?
Yeah, we've introduced a 5-phase plan. Phase 1's clean up and get everything, deconstructed, and we're pretty much there now. We're now in phases 2 and 3 combined would be getting the insurance assessment done, and then us getting drawings redone so that we have our electrical outlets up a little higher because we know we're going to flood again. We talked about relocation, things of that nature, but short term, we recognize we're going to continue meeting here. And as we do, we need to try to flood-proof this building. So we're working at designs, drawings, estimates of putting the building back together now, because we did, corporately, as a body, we were able to mitigate any type of moisture damage that could have come. And so I'm real proud of our people for that. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if people are wanting to help, what are some ways that they can do that?
Well, we appreciate any help anyone can give. I know we have some are saying, hey, call us if you need us. We can bring a crew, and that still might be a possibility. You know, if a church or an organization says, we have a dozen people that we can bring, you tell us when, what to do. A lot of the questions I'm asking is, well, what are you good at? And if they tell me, hey, you know, we can do electrical, or we can do plumbing, or we can do flooring, or whatever, then we can kind of be like, okay, when we get to that phase, we'll touch base with you. Financial contributions go a long way, because our insurance coverage is going to take care of a large part of putting the building back together, but we're also looking at any extra funds we have of kind of adding self-insurance for the future for the flood, or exploring other options of what can be done to this building on our property, or in the future have the church having an option of a possible relocation. So any financial contributions could be put towards, you know, now and later that we're looking into. So.
And we heard off camera that the nursery is a big top priority, kind of that you're trying to get together. Kind of what are your plans for that?
Yeah, nursery's number one priority. We said that this past Sunday. The plans for that is to get a wall in there that is floodable. So we're replacing the drywall with more cinder block to go up against the drywall that exists 4 feet and above. So we're hopefully going to order that cinder block today, so that when people do come to worship, their babies and toddlers will be in a safe, clean place. Yeah.
Well, we actually have this thing at our church. It's called the Dollar Club, where we just ask everybody once a month just to throw in an extra $1, and we try to find a need in the community where we can come alongside them and just bless them. And when we heard about the devastation of the flood, we heard about it and we wanted to help. And so actually, we want to just support you all with that. And we have, with the help of the Dollar Club and a little bit extra, I actually have a check for you for $6,500 to go towards that nursery, to hopefully that you can get kids back in there.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.